Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. We record these interviews so potential buyers have more information about the seller and the business to help them make a buying decision. Now, before we dive in, let's go over a brief summary of this business. It's an affiliate and display advertising business created in August of 2015 in the employment niche. The average monthly revenue for the business is $12,800 and makes an average of $12,708 per month in net profit. The assets included in the sale are a primary domain including all site content and files, and a secondary domain including all site content and files, 301 redirects, a Facebook account or page, an email list with over 20,000 subscribers, and a ZipRecruiter account. Now, for everyone listening, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing 63107 to learn more about the business, or you can unlock this listing to start your due diligence if you're interested in purchasing this asset. So that's a brief overview of the business for sale. Let's hear from the seller with me today. So welcome to the show, Brett. How are you doing today?
Good. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Well, I'm looking forward to learning more about you and your business. So to start us off, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Yeah, so I got into this by accident, kind of like most guys in this industry have. And I started making a site as kind of a hobby, and that one ended up doing pretty well. And over the years, it kind of I refined my skill set and just kind of bootstrapped the whole thing, kept cash flowing and reinvesting back into the businesses. Now I have an entire portfolio that I'm running.
That's awesome. Very cool to hear that it just started out as a hobby. And it's certainly turned into a very lucrative hobby. So that's great to see. Congratulations. All right. So you've had this business for quite some time now. Why are you deciding to sell it instead of keeping it and growing it?
Just taking money off the table. So the site's been great. It's been pretty passive way to make money. I did some stuff to it, kind of, improved it after I bought it, things like that. And now I'm just looking to just kind of take money off the table and focus on my other projects.
Yep, I definitely understand that. Okay, so during the time that you've had this site and that you've worked on this site, was there anything you learned from building this that worked or that contributed to its growth?
When I first took over the site and started working on it, I noticed that a lot of the content was really good, but it wasn't organized in a way that was easy to find. And I think the biggest takeaway for me has really been topical relevance and what that does for SEO. So what I've done with the site is really just broken up the content, sorted it into categories that are very easy to browse and look through, and they're very helpful. And from there, really, I didn't realize it at the time, but laid the foundation to really expand the site into even more shoulder niches. But really, topical relevance would be the big takeaway for me. And when I cluster things together, link those posts together, the traffic usually does pretty well. People click around, increases page views, things like that.
Nice. I like that. So you saw this site and reorganize or put the content into clusters to improve the SEO and grow the site that way. Nice. Okay. Was there anything you tried with this business that didn't work out as well?
Not necessarily. I really can't think of a lot.
Okay. I mean, it was already an existing business, so you just kind of kept doing what worked and then added on.
Yeah, and to that point, it's been pretty straightforward. I've rewritten some of the content. So I guess some of that, when I rewrote that, it didn't do as well as I thought. But I think the real play is to just add more content to the site and go after that topical authority even further.
Yeah. Okay, great. So can you tell me a little bit about how traffic is generated on this site?
Sure. So it's pretty much just organic search from Google. That and then people coming back. So I don't run paid ads. There's an opportunity there, but I've never really been a paid ad guy. I've just been kind of a pure play organic SEO, and that's my strength. So another buyer with a background in paid campaigns might be able to do something to the site that I don't see.
Okay. So running ads. Got it. I think you did mention a little bit about what you do on this. You said that primarily, at least to grow the business, you reorganized content. Now, do you continue to do that, or does your day to day or week to week look a little bit different now that you have done that? I guess, can you describe the amount and the type of work that you do now on this business for maintenance?
Oh, sure. Really, for maintenance, there's not much left to do other than if you want the site to just keep doing its thing, that's fine. If you want to grow it, just add topics and content to the clusters I've put in place. So when I first took over the site, like I said, it was kind of a bit of a jumbled mess, and I sorted everything. I redesigned the entire website. So this is a custom theme that's built on Generate Press. So it's very lightweight, meets Core Web Vitals, a very quick site that there's a lot of room for expansion. So that was all kind of doing all that content stuff was a one-time thing. So sorting it, putting on the correct child categories, I'll say, that was a one-time thing. So I already did that hard work up front. Now it's really just building on that foundation that I've laid.
Got it. That sounds good. So that you kind of alluded to the next question then about opportunities. So you mentioned that there are two things here. You mentioned potential for running ads and for continuing the work that you've already done. If you were to keep the business, what are some ways you would try to grow it?
I would really just add content. The site, when you look at it from an SEO standpoint, in its niche, it was probably the first, to my understanding, the first site that caters towards this specific niche. So it's got the authority, it's got links, it's got great content, it's got kind of a reputation in the industry for being one of the leaders, and a lot of people coming back too. So to the point earlier about growing the site, and a lot of people come from search engines, but a lot of those people then come back. So we've got a Facebook group with, I think, around like over 10,000 people. So they're interacting with the content, things like that. So there's quite a bit of opportunity there that can really just be leveraged.
Got it. And what do you think are the biggest risks with this business that a buyer should be aware of?
Really, like any business that relies on SEO, I guess the real risk would be an algorithm update, but that's really with any website online. This specific site has really weathered the storm. Like I said earlier, it's got great content, it's got great links. I've never done anything black hat to the site. In terms of a technical SEO asset, it's kind of a diamond in the rough a little bit. So all that, the algorithm updates, we had not any issues with those because the content, it's really built to help people. And from the start, you've got a good technical foundation, great content, great clean links. So when you combine all those three, I don't see there being a lot of risks.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, with a well-aged site like this one, you can see how the business was impacted over the course of the different algorithm updates. And it's a great sign if a site has weathered the storms, as you said. Well, a few housekeeping questions to wrap this up then. How much support are you willing to offer a new buyer after the sale?
So I'm willing to offer support, 30 days, email and phone support, kind of just within reason transition period. So my goal in that is to provide support so that asset that I've run, if it goes to a new home, that transition happens well and pretty smoothly. There's not a lot to do on the site. It's a pretty turnkey asset that I've already spent a lot of time and hard work really making into what it is now. So there's not a lot to do. There shouldn't be a lot of support, but I am happy to offer that for 30 days.
Okay, and would you commit to a non-compete on this deal?
I'll commit to a non-compete, a direct non-compete. To be fully transparent, I do own two other websites in the more broad employment niche, and there's not a direct correlation, but that is something that I'm happy to talk with a potential buyer about, kind of the granulars of those, but they don't compete directly, but seeing that they're in the same parent niche, we just have to talk about that.
Yep, definitely. Okay. And yeah, for anyone listening who wants to discuss the details of those sites that are also in the similar parent niche, yeah, best to have a conversation with Brett about that. Okay. And last question here, are you open to something like an earnout on this deal?
I'm not.
Okay. Got it. And putting yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why do you think this is a business worth buying?
I think this is a business worth buying because, like I had mentioned earlier, I spent a lot of time getting the asset to where it is now. It's kind of primed for growth. So the technical foundation, the content, the links, all of that, when you combine those two together, it's really at this point now just a matter of pouring some gas on the fire. And I'm looking to step away simply to pursue other projects and just take some money off the table. I got married in this year, so just kind of looking to add to my savings account. But this is a great opportunity to really take it to the next level, and somebody, with a renewed passion for it, and they can kind of see that value in the work I've done. I'd really like it to go to a new home.
Yeah. Well, first, congratulations. And yes, it's always great to hear that a business is in a good position for growth for the person that wants to then take on the task of growing the business further. Okay. Well, last question then. Is there anything you'd like to add that you think I might have missed during the interview?
No, I think we covered it all.
Okay, great. Well, I'll wrap this up here. So, Brett, thank you so much for sharing your story and joining us on today's episode. And I hope your business is purchased in the near future and by the right buyer.
Absolutely. Well, thanks. I appreciate your time.
Absolutely. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 63107. And if you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. And once you've unlocked this listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about this business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.